into our last and final topic with Ramit. We back to Ramit, y'all. Gen Z. Financial future is not looking too well for us, man. It's not looking too well. We at the point where we don't even really care that much. We done gave up on our financial futures. Gen Z. I don't know what generation I'm in, actually. They all kind of, I used to know millennials, and now they got Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Alpha, Gen whatever the heck. I don't know what generation I'm in these days. I just know I'm on the cusp of two, maybe, you know. But Gen Z, they quitting all the way. Don't care no more. Because everything just seems so far out. You feel me? A lot of Gen Z, you coming into your adulthood, and you like, oh, it's a recession. Gas prices through the roof. Your politics look like it's all up in the air. You don't know what's going on with that. You gotta choose between a felon or a vegetable at this point. You feel me? You gotta choose between this or that. We all done just gave up. Tired of it. Like it ain't even worth it at this point to always have to pick this or that. I'ma just live my life and enjoy it, is what Gen Z is saying at this point. Forget Dave Ramsey. He telling me that I need to live on rice and beans and rice. I'm not doing it. I don't care no more. Whatever happens, happens. And it is what it is. That's the spot that Gen Z is at right now, y'all. It's a dangerous spot to be at, though. Because things ain't always going to be this way, I feel. From history, things ain't always going to be this way. You know, things will change. Things will get better. So, you know, we just got to stay down while we down. Stay down and keep our head strong. But Ramit is going to come in and he's going to help Gen Z. He's about to help us, Gen Z. He's going to help us in ways that I like Ramit. Like I said before, he definitely lives on saying no to things so that you can say yes to the things that you want. Becoming a financially responsible adult will allow you to say no to the things that you don't care about and say yes absolutely to the things that you want to do and that you love the most. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. Gen Z is giving up on their financial future. Let's go.
A recent study found that 73% of young Americans want to enjoy their money now instead of saving money for the future. And that stat honestly makes me nervous. Why is this? Why are so many Gen Z and young people giving up on their financial future? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break this concept down and then I'm gonna give you 3 financial steps you can take to take control of your money. But first, yes, your feelings are valid. The economy is tough. How many of us have parents telling us, just cut back on avocado toast and soon you can buy a house? No, that's actually not true. Today, I want to back up everything I'm saying with data. Take a look at this chart. Housing is historically unaffordable right now. In fact, the last time housing was this unaffordable was in 1985. To put that in perspective, 39 years ago, the top movie was Back to the Future. Actually, that is correct because that is one of the greatest movies ever created. The top song was Careless Whisper. Another great Actually, the 80s were way better than how we're living right now. This was amazing. Michael Jordan was named NBA's Rookie of the Year, and a McDonald's hamburger cost just 64 cents. So yes, the economy is tough, and yes, you're right. Buying a house is incredibly unaffordable. In fact, I want to take you back in time and show you what housing looked like for your parents. 40 years ago, a house would cost roughly 2.5 times your annual income. Today, the median house costs 6 times your annual income. That means about 40 years ago, a person making the median salary, which was about $30K, would buy a house costing $81,000. In current dollars, that house cost $250K. Today, the median income is $75,000, but the median house costs over $450,000. That means housing costs have almost doubled in price from 40 years ago. Oh, Granny Smith apples. If you cut back on buying 3 Granny Smith apples a week, you'll be able to save money for a house. No, that's not how it works. What this means is that housing is historically unaffordable. You cutting back on matcha is not going to change anything about being able to afford a house. But there's more. The other thing we're worried about, inflation.
Thank you for that, Ramit. That first little tidbit, it hit it on the head. It hit it on the head when it comes to housing. Hit it on the head. We can't even see that we gonna own a home at this point. I'm telling you, Gen Z, young people, everybody who's looking for a house right now, when we go out and look for houses, we like, hold on, how can I even afford this? And I know people who are not, on that path. When you look at this and you're like, I can't afford it anyway, why even save up for it? I might as well go spend my money and enjoy it now. And then the future hold what the future have. You feel me? I don't blame people for feeling that way. Like he said, in the 80s, a house was only double your income. Now it's 6 times. It seems literally like I will never own a house. That's how it feels. I will never be able to afford a house that I want. That's how that feels. Will I be able to afford a house, a rundown shack? Yes, I can afford that. I can afford a rundown shack. Rundown shack, vacation to Aruba. Which one you think I'ma pick? Hey, a rundown shack or a vacation to Aruba. I'm picking the vacation for Aruba 10 times out of 10 instead of the rundown shack that I can afford. Housing is literally, I can barely afford rent. Hell, and you want me to think about housing? Ain't no way. This is why Gen Z people literally don't care about the financials. Don't care. Because it just doesn't, nothing seems realistic. Like, it just doesn't seem realistic for me to own a house straight up like that. It just doesn't seem realistic. No time soon, at least. So I might as well enjoy my money now. Might as well enjoy it now.
Let's take a look. I want to show you 3 areas of our economy that have actually undergone rapid and sustained inflation. First, the cost of a college education has soared. Next, the price of a new car has wildly outpaced inflation over the last decade. Even rent prices are growing faster than income, which is creating the biggest divide in decades. So yes, inflation is real, and what we can see is that there are forces working against us. All right, before we get to the 3 steps you can take with your money, there's something really troubling that I discovered. If you Google yourself, you'll probably notice that your personal information is all over the internet. Your name, your address, your phone number, your family members' information. It's absolutely terrifying. And that's because data brokers are out there selling your information and posting it all over the internet. I hate this. But how do you get this information removed? Description below. The surprising way that people are dealing with this financial pressure. Let me tell you what they're doing. Some people have simply said, I'm giving up. They're basically saying, I don't believe that I'm ever going to be able to afford a house. I'm never going to be able to send kids to college.
Won't be.
The American dream for me is dead.
It's dead.
So
I don't
what are
see
they
it
doing
happening.
with their money? Well, they don't believe in the American dream anymore. So instead, they're taking their money and they're spending it. They're spending it on fun stuff.
Aruba,
like clothes, travel,
Aruba.
going out, food delivery. Honestly, I get it. If I believed that I had no future, that I would never be able to buy a house, that I was going to be drinking tap water for the rest of my life, and the only joy in life would be having a Netflix subscription so I could watch Ramit Sethi's How to Get Rich, I wouldn't feel too good either. And it actually gets worse. A lot of people are starting to subscribe to these forums and Reddits and Twitter follows where all they see is doom and gloom over and over again. Some people are even getting their news from the mass media. The mass media which tells you that the economy is always horrible. I wonder why. It turns out that a lot of people genuinely believe we are living in the worst economy in American history. Do you? If you believe that, I want to actually show you some real data on how this is one of the best economies in history. Yes, I said it, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Today, we are making more money than our parents did. Price of eggs, the price of lumber. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Gas is so expensive. Lumber, how are we going to build a house? Lumber. But then when the price comes down, nobody ever brings it up again. Hey, where did all you egg fanatics go? Talking about the yolk, the price of chickens. Oh, what are they going to do? How they're going to hatch? Oh, the hatchlings. Where'd you all go when the price of eggs collapsed? Where'd you go when lumber came right back down to where it was? Nobody ever talks about when things get better. We are simply addicted to talking about when things go bad. And then there's just simple numbers we can look at. Right now, more people are investing in the stock market than ever before. And that's important because the stock market is where real wealth is created. And you can start investing today. You can start investing if you make minimum wage. You can start investing if you make a little bit more than that. You can start investing on one income, two incomes. You can invest the same way that multimillionaires do. And I want you to. You probably haven't heard about these stats. You probably didn't know that wages are up, that inflation is down. In fact, a lot of you hate me right now. Who are we kidding? You're probably closing this video. You're leaving comments like this. Oh, Ramit, you lost me when you said the economy's good. That's because when you are addicted to hearing only bad news, you start to become out of touch with reality. I know these comments because anytime I say something positive about the economy, I get a bunch of doomers crawling out from their depressed basements telling me I'm wrong, when all I'm trying to do is share an innocent little chart and then go back to eating my chicken and rice. Guys, things can be good and bad at the same time. Housing can be historically expensive and our wages can be up. In fact, that's exactly what's happening right now. By the way, little tidbit you may not know, guess whose wages are going up the most? Low wage earners. That means that wages are going up most for the people who are earning the least. And if you don't believe me, go look at any window at any McDonald's. You see what they put up there? It says now hiring. That's because they can't find enough people to work there, so they are being forced to raise wages. Now here's my message to you. We cannot just sit here and surround ourselves with boomers telling us the economy is amazing, but we also can't surround ourselves with doomers who are telling you that your life is over. That's not true either. We need nuance to live a rich life. So if you want to be smarter than the people around you, you need to look beyond the surface. You need to understand what is truly going on. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you're not going to miss.
All right, Ramit, now you got to get into what I'm here for, the money information. We done already did our doom and gloom, you feel me? We done already went through that. I done already went through that. I've already complained. We know that inflation, you say it's down, but that's not how it feels. Do you think out here living my life to life day that I feel like whatever raise I get has improved my life? Or do you think it just make it feel like, oh, okay, I just got a raise, but everything else just as much. I'm just catching up to the prices at this point. Like, oh, okay, at least I caught back up. At least I caught back up. I'm okay now. That ain't how it work with me. But part of being a financially responsible adult is that when all the doom and gloom's going on, you stay on your system. You have that system in place for a reason. You stay on that system. So Ramit, we need some ways that we can help the Gen Z people get a system that works so that we don't feel like our life is doom and gloom every time we watch something on YouTube that says the economy is going down. Inflation is up. Housing is unaffordable. Rent prices are through the roof. What can you do to help with this? Because that's what we need. And you got to give it in a way. This is why I do like Ramit, y'all. He gives it, he wants to live a rich, fulfilling life. He does not want you to live a secluded, frugal life full of nothingness. And this is why I like Ramit. So I know he's going to come with some heat here that helps us all out.
Miss out on any of my money tips. Now let's talk about how to get ahead with your money. There are 3 key steps I want you to do. Step 1, make your money work for you. Yes, you need to be mastering the fundamentals when it comes to your money. You're not going to wait for a macroeconomic shift. You're not going to sit around debating investing because of geopolitics. No, you're going to control what you can control. That means every single month, I recommend you invest at least 10% of your money, and it's happening automatically. Investing is where true wealth is created because time and compounding are on your side. Next, you're saving 5 to 10% towards a 3-month emergency fund. That emergency fund is a safety net in case anything happens, like layoffs. You're also saving for a vacation, down payment, whatever is important to you. Next, you're paying your credit cards automatically and in full every single month. That's because you're too smart to be paying the credit card company's interest. Next, your fixed costs are below 50 to 60%. That includes things like housing, transportation, groceries, and bills. I will acknowledge that because housing is so expensive right now, it's sometimes difficult to hit this number, especially in high cost of living areas. That's why you want to pay close attention to your fixed costs. And the last one, my favorite one of all, you are spending the rest of your money guilt-free.
I gotta pause it right here, y'all. This chart. Woo, he done gave it to us. This is your budget. This your budget breakdown right here. He done gave us a budget breakdown, y'all. Number 1 is just being a financially responsible adult. And that's going to get you through it. Get you a budget. What he said, what was the first thing he said? 10% to yourself first. Come on, y'all. 10% to yourself first. Then you got your emergency fund. You got your fixed costs. Guilt-free spending. That's where the balance comes in at the end of the day, because it's in your budget. Have a good time with this money. You want to set some money aside so that you can enjoy as well. That's your enjoying money. Come on. But literally step number 1. Be conscious with what you got going on. Have a budget. He just didn't say the words because he likes to, he talks about this stuff all the time, so he says it in different ways. But literally 10% to yourself first. What was the first thing he put on this graph? Invest 10% automatically. 10% to yourself first. Then you got your savings, your emergency fund, your fixed costs, your housing, all that stuff. Make sure you're not living above your means on your fixed cost side. And then enjoy it. Enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest. Do what you want with the rest. That's where your balance will come in. This way you'll see your doom and gloom isn't all doom and, it's not all burning down. Come on, Ramit. Just the first step is just become literally a financially responsible adult.
You want to travel. You want to go out to restaurants. You want to do self-care. You can do it guilt-free because you know that your money is automatically being saved and invested without you having to do anything. The only rule I have for your guilt-free spending is you're not allowed to spend it at Chili's because Chili's, the restaurant, is disgusting. Step number 2, get comfortable coming up with your own point of view. I think the rarest thing in the universe is for somebody to have an individual point of view. I have my own point of view, and it's taken me 30 years to come up with it. Right now, it's cheaper for me to rent than to buy. So I rent. I spend extravagantly on the things I love, which included a multi-day wedding and nice clothes. I know you frugal freaks online think weddings are a complete waste of money and you prefer to wear a stretched out Cisco t-shirt from 2004. That's your prerogative. If that's your rich life, such as it is, fantastic. For me, I like to spend money extravagantly on things I love, as long as I cut costs mercilessly on the things I don't. I want the same for you. Those are just a couple examples of my point of view. I really encourage you to create your own point of view. For example, you might love spending money having an amazing sushi dinner once a week, or you might want a relaxing massage once a month because it helps you with your health. That's great too. But in order to do that, step 1, you got to make your money work for you. Step 2, you got to come up with your own point of view. And
him saying come up with your own point of view to me is when he says know what you're going to say yes to. That's your point of view. Know what you're going to say yes to and know what you're going to say no to. That's having your own point of view. Like the other guy, like he said, he wasn't being frugal. The other guy, his yes was to traveling. When he travels, he's going to eat what he wants. He's going to fly first class. He's going to bullet train first class. That was what he said yes to. For Ramit, his yes was to that wedding, was to this, was to that. For me, my most recent yes was that GR86 sitting in my garage that I don't get to drive for another week. I'm so ready to see my baby. But that was something that I said yes to. Having my own point of view. And why am I able to have my own point of view? Because I am a financial responsible adult already. And my money is working for me from what he said. It is. I got some investments. I got some, I'm starting out. We're getting them gears going. But yeah, that's how that works out. Let's keep going. Let's get this last step, Ramit.
Step 3, do not allow yourself to fall into the vortex of doom. You know you're in the vortex of doom when you see comments like this. I'm taking my debt to the grave. Must be nice. What's the point? I'll never own a house. 7% returns in the stock market. LOL. Where can anyone get that? I know I'm get that. A simple index fund. Listen, I get it. It's gratifying to feel that indignance, to feel the resentment, to feel the rage running through your veins. They f***ed us. I can't get ahead. Feels good, right? Maybe they did. Maybe the boomers stripped us of walkable cities. Suburban NIMBYs aren't allowing any housing. So let's know our numbers. Let's create our own point of view and let's banish the vortex of doom so we can live our own rich life. So please do not become a doomer. I know it's tempting. I know everyone else is doing it, complaining about the price of lettuce, but please don't. It is the wrong way to go. Yes, we need more affordable housing. Yes, we need education and childcare to become more affordable. Yes, that's why I vote, and that's why you should too. But we also need to take responsibility for our own rich lives. I hope this video challenges your perspective on saving for.
I want to say thank you, Ramit, for that. The last step, get out of all that doom and gloom all the time. Yes, y'all know we can complain. I complain all the time, y'all. But let's be real. Life is not that bad. Life's not that bad. I try to enjoy the journey. I do all that stuff. You have to believe that there is going to be a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. Yes. Because it will get better. It will balance out. All the doom and gloom that we going through right now, it will balance out. And don't fall into the trap right now that's going to send you down that vortex of doom. Just because it's like, I'll be paying my student loans forever. If I would have done that when the student loan forgiveness didn't pass, I wouldn't be done paying my student loans in 2 months. Yep, y'all, it's coming. It's coming. I told y'all, I said that system, it just keep going. It's coming. It's around the corner. It is around the corner. So I'm excited. I know I'm excited for that. And like he said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But if I would have fell down that doom and gloom vortex, I'll have student loan debt forever. I just might as well go down. I wouldn't be at where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be here right now telling you that my student loans will be gone by the end of the summer. I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I fell to the doom and gloom. So thank you, Ramit, for that. I think that was a great video. Ramit always talks about living your rich, satisfied, happy life. That's what I like. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the money that he gives you, even though, being rich is about, you got to have some money. But it's also about the things that you are saying yes to, things that you're saying no to, being a financially responsible adult. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and leave a comment, man.